So today I thought I would actually use Boldin to kind of show what does the typical person today, if they wanted to retire, how might their retirement go? And so I'm going to input numbers into Boldin. I've actually got most of them already entered in, and we're going to change things and see how different things impact how much income you'll have through retirement. So let me walk you first through what I kind of did. I did use Microsoft Copilot to get some generic expenses that most Americans have. So I have that here. I went out and got the mean. So that's most people have 50% of the people have more, 50% of the people have less. So I'm going to look at the median individual today, and maybe I'll pull up the average, so that is a lot more. But today, most people have about $200,000 total in retirement accounts. They have a net worth of 410, and they have their home included in that, so it's about 250. And again, some of these numbers don't 100% tie out when you use Copilot and stuff like that. But then they provided what the Social Security benefits are as well. So let me share what I kind of did with that information. So I split the amounts into different retirement accounts, just so not everything was in pre-tax. Some things might have been in Roth, some things were in brokerage accounts. I also pulled out a little bit of the health savings account, and again, pulled out the typical average Social Security payments for people. I then took that information and I put it into Boldin here. So if you didn't know Boldin, you can come in and actually enter in all your information. You can actually connect it up to accounts as well. But I came in here and I actually put in that 200 and something $1,000. And again, I have all these different accounts. So I have $3,000 in the HSA. I put 60 into the 401k. I put 30,000 into the Roth. And again, I put $50,000 in the combined, and the wife has 60,000 as well. So I have all these incomes in a way. I also then have in here expenses. So I put in that they want to spend $4,000 a month. So it's $48,000 a year. And then it does have some Medicare components of it. And I also put in real estate, and real estate here. I actually didn't use the recommended, which said the mean has about $250,000. I actually upped it another $100,000. So they have a fully paid off home worth $350,000. And if we come back to the overview, and again, let me just touch on two more things real quick. Is I think it's right down. Thought it was there. So I did put under account settings here, that both people are 65 right now, so they're both ready to retire at 65. And if I bring back the connections here on income, I do have the Social Security payments right here. And so I put in the full amount, and so right now they're already claiming at 65. If I actually move it back up to 67 here, you'll see that it actually jumps up. Okay. So the reason is it's less is because they're collecting before full retirement age. Okay. Now, looking at all this and coming to the overview, you can kind of see right here each year, and again, this is as if they're retiring today with this amount of money. The green line represents the house. So again, it was $350,000. So you can see it's going up a little bit in appreciation there to 364, but then their savings is actually dropping, right? So if we go through the different years here, the real estate again goes up, the savings goes down, and you can actually see it'll continue to go down. And within about 10 years, again, this is in 2026, so about 2037, I think it is. They have $21,000 in savings, and by the time they're 77, they are out of money. Now they still have the home value, but they're out of cash to pay for things, and they'll start running into debt. Again, that's living off $48,000. You can also see down here, which I really thought was kind of interesting, the Monte Carlo. So you can click on this and actually see that graph. So in the best case scenario, they might run out when they're 78. And in the worst case, it's 73. So that is something that I did notice on the overview that I do want to point out when you're looking at this graph here. This is almost like your best case. So I think it's a little deceiving in some ways because, it's showing you that, oh, okay, I can make it to 38 basically and pretty much be out of money. But down here, you really only have a 15% opportunity to make that, right? You have an 8% chance of fully funding it through your entire retirement, which, again, if you're going to run out here, it's probably almost non-existent. So with that in play, there are a few things that you could do. Maybe you don't want to be in your house, forever. And so with Boldin, you can actually change it here and model a future change. And what I thought I would try is, well, maybe at age 70, so I'm retiring at 65, maybe at 70, I want to sell the house and move the money into my brokerage account and then start renting. So, obviously, the $4,000 a month that you were anticipating living off of, you don't want to probably take out the rent too. Now, $1,500 a month is probably low. But again, at 70, maybe you want to downsize even further. Maybe you're going to take some of that $4,000 that you're collecting a month as well and increase it. But again, let's see what that would do. So I'm going to save this and see, now you see your plan of success does go up. If we come back over here to overview, you can actually see a lot of that change. So you see here your home value is going up, your savings is going down. And then all of a sudden you sold the house, getting all that savings, and then it could make it all the way out to here at 95. So that is one potential idea. Now, again, that's with the best case scenario. When you're looking down here at your Monte Carlo, you still only have a 47% chance. So if I click on here, you can kind of see in the worst case scenario, you're going to be out the money at 85. And then otherwise, it really runs out by the time you're right around 90. But the scenario here, it's a valid opportunity that you could do. And maybe you don't think you're going to make it to 95. Maybe you think 85's okay. You can change your ages here on, let's go back to, it's not the account settings. I think it's under summary. Here it is. You can actually put your retirement ages and then the ages that you expect to live to. You could, again, anticipate maybe one of you would not make it. Maybe one of you would unfortunately pass away a little early and use that. And is it a better or worse plan? It actually turns out worse, it looks like. Now I would anticipate that is because you're losing one of the person's Social Security payments. So all of a sudden, you can see here it drops down a lot more and your Monte Carlo goes down. So in this case, you're almost better off if obviously both people live the longest. So again, you could take it in a couple different ways. This does anticipate that you're actually spending, let's go back to our debts here. Money flows or no expenses. Here it is. You're spending about $4,000 a month, $48,000 a year. I don't know what your situation is. And you can see here's where the rent kicks in at a certain point. Maybe that, you think maybe that you won't spend $4,000 every single month. Maybe what does $3,500 a month do? And again, this is $3,500 forever with adjustments with inflation and stuff like that. So you could actually add in another expense and put maybe 4,000 for the first 10 years, and then maybe you go down a little bit. But if we do the overview now here, now you jump up to a 71%. So selling your house, only doing $3,500 a month instead of four, your chance of success really jumps up into the high 70s. And again, maybe that's okay with you, especially maybe if you both think you both will pass around maybe 85 or something like that. So this is how I thought I'd use Boldin a little bit, because obviously I've been doing more scenarios of where I'm currently at 55, anticipating retiring at a certain age. But I wanted to see, how does Boldin work as if you're planning to retire today? Or obviously I could have said, hey, maybe if I wanted to retire in 5 years, what would the impact be? But I still think taking, I can look at my current income, anticipate what I'm going to be at, and enter in the numbers as if I am retiring, and see the different changes and what are the impacts that I need to do to make the chance of success either go up or down. Like, maybe if I'm at 99%, maybe I want to go down to 85%, spend a little bit more, do that opportunity here in the expenses. Maybe I want to spend a little bit more at the beginning and then lower it down. So what are your thoughts with it? Maybe I'll dive into some other opportunities here as well. I didn't look at anything with Roth conversions or anything like that. With this type of income of 200,000 or whatever, I didn't think there would be that much. Maybe when I look at the next one, where the average person that might have about $600,000 in assets, how might that play in? Maybe there's more opportunity there. But again, what do you think of Boldin? Is this something that you've been wanting to look at? You also have sort of the numbers that I would need if you want to put your random numbers, again, maybe project out what you think you'll have and drop it in the comments. I will be more than happy to make a video of your numbers and look at the Monte Carlo and maybe make some adjustments. Maybe tell me what adjustments you'd like to see. So if this is your first time watching, thank you. And if you've actually watched any of my other videos or you like these, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much.